It's live via satellite from London, England at Capital 95.8, back to WBLS 107.5 FM in New York. And we are live as you hear us. Our special guest for the Soul to Soul One Nation or Two Nations Under Groove is Mr. Quincy Jones, and his good buddy from here, Mr. Rod Temperton, is sitting here with us. And we've just been kicking it, talking about the Back on the Block LP and all the different people that are on it.
Yes. Do you ever wish you could spend more time back here in England? And as you were saying earlier, you spent time in Europe.
Not only do I wish it, I'm going to do something about it.
Right. And obviously in terms of your links with England, the man sitting next to you should introduce to the world, because he is a homeboy.
He is definitely a homeboy in more ways than one. I guess it was about 1977. I had been listening to Heatwave a lot, and I heard something that seemed to prevail every record, you know. And it wasn't really about the playing or the performances of the group or anything, but it was a concept behind the group that just knocked me out. It had musicality, and incredible musicality, soul, and lyrics, you know, freshest lyrics I ever heard. And I figured this was some dude from Chicago or Memphis or someplace. And all of a sudden, Pete Long, Frankie knows Pete Long. He used to go to school with him. This guy used to manage the Apollo Theater. And he said,
hey, man, wait a minute.
I know you know you were born before my time, Frankie. You know that. You just hit you, didn't you?
I did go to school with him at the Apollo
with
Theater.
With Pete Long, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said Johnny Wilder, the leader of Heatwave, and Rod Temperton would like to come by and talk to you about some things, about the group and everything else. And so we first met, and it was kind of love at first sight, musically and personally. And I guess about 6 months later or something, he was working in New York on some project, and I said, Rodney, I'm doing an album with Shaka and Rufus and Michael Jackson. I need 3 songs apiece. He said, wait a minute.
Was this the first time you'd met?
We met at the house, and we shared a lot of similar, we had a lot of similar taste, you know, with music and film scores, etc. And I called him, asked him to do these 3 tunes apiece for each group. So it turned out, to make a long story short, that he wrote Master Jam for Rufus and another song. One of the things called Burn This Disco Out was supposed to be for Rufus, but I stole it to Michael Jackson, along with Off the Wall and Rock With You. And
they were originally intended for Rufus, all those?
No, not all of them. No. The first 2 were specifically for Michael, but Burn This Disco Out was for Rufus, and I said that we'll bring it on over here anyway for Michael. And Rod came in on a Saturday. He was on another project. He came on a Saturday, and I liked everything about him, you know, as a professional, as a creative person, and the way he handled everything else. He did his homework. He didn't expect everybody else to do his homework. He had 6 or 7 different titles, because as strange as he is, you know, he's still very organized.
This is the longest introduction I've ever heard.
You don't let me talk, man. Listen. So he give me titles. He doesn't write lyrics. He doesn't write the title for the song in the beginning. He just gives me melodies. And he had strange titles like Worms and Maggots and all these things as working titles. Anyway.
It's us English, Quincy. We're just strange.
Crikey. Anyway, the bottom line is we've been mates for 12 years now, and have been through a lot of wars together, and one of them is Rod Temperton.
What an intro, Rod.
Hey, well, what can I say after this? Well, it's very nice to be here on the show.
You can give them the original titles of the songs now.
Well, you should have stuck with those titles, Rod, I think you should have fought for yourself there. So, welcome back to England. So come on, tell us about the relationship with this man that Quincy hasn't said already.
Well, the interesting thing is, when that first time he called me in New York, I was working on the 3rd Heatwave album. And I just got this call in the middle of the session, and somebody said, it's Quincy Jones on the phone for you. So I went to the phone, you know, said, hello, you know, and he said, I need you to write some stuff for Michael Jackson and Shaka. And I said, well, I can't. I said, unfortunately, I'm in the middle of this project, Quincy. I'd love to work with you, but I can't do it. And he, you know, I was really stupid, wasn't I? You know, I mean, it was just... Quincy's there trying to convince me. He said, you got to write these 3 tunes. And I said, well, I'm real, I've got this. I'm working 10 in the morning.
Got to go shopping.
And anyway, finally convinced me. He said, just write one for each of these, And I said, okay, I'll do my best. And then, of course, we had about 2 weeks, I think, to get it together. And flew to LA just for the weekends to cut these tracks, and it worked out amazingly because we were buddies from the first moment, and
now he's kidnapped you, Rod.
Yeah, right.
And you're not coming back.
It's a good kidnapping, I'll tell you that. Kidnapped me.
And he's a Versace GQ dude now, though. He was living in Worms, Germany. He was ragged as a sack full of sauerkraut in those days.
Yeah. In fact, we got a photograph on the first day we worked together.
Holes in
with
his
holes in our socks.
Raggedy, man.
Nothing's changed here. Listen, we're going to continue with another track from this amazing album. Quincy, tell us about the updated Birdland, and especially this intro. We're going to play the whole thing here.